Peshek, and I'm Vice President of Advocacy for Foundation for Excellence in Education. We're a national nonprofit organization. And I study these programs across the country, so I'm here to answer any questions you might have about how these programs work. This type of program is part of a kind of a broader world of education choice, private education choice, which has been on the rise for the past 2 decades. Today, there's 53 private choice programs across the country in 25 states plus Washington, D.C., and now Puerto Rico. Collectively, these programs educate around 485,000 students, and demand for these programs is growing, with about 38 of these programs being enacted in the past 10 years. Currently, Missouri does not have one of these types of programs, though 6 of its neighbors do: Illinois, Iowa, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. And HB 478 combines 2 popular forms of education choice: education scholarship accounts and tax credit scholarships, to create a new program. And the tax credit is a little confusing, so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So basically, these funds are similar to other tax credits across the program, where individuals and businesses can get a credit for donations that they make to a nonprofit organization whose sole focus is giving scholarships to individual students. So this isn't a scenario where a parent would give money and they'd get money back, or that a parent would be getting reimbursed for certain expenditures they got. It would be that a parent would go to one of these nonprofit organizations and apply for a scholarship that's funded by individuals and businesses who are not giving to a specific school or a specific individual, but they're giving to the idea of providing choice, and this organization gives out scholarships. So it's not a personal credit, and no one directly benefits. So it's not that a business would be getting money back, or that an individual would be getting money back. They would just be getting reimbursed, getting a credit for the funds they gave to the scholarship program. So if a business, let's say Missouri's lucky enough to have a business with a $50 million tax liability, if they had that, they wouldn't be getting any money back. They would just be redirecting those funds from one pot of money to another. So they wouldn't be getting any money. They're not saving any money for themselves. They're just putting it towards a different cause. 2 other things I wanted to point out. You mentioned the academic accountability. We do support increased academic accountability in terms of requiring a test every year. Programs around the country that kind of have the gold standard for this is requiring them to take a standardized test and having those results reported to an independent third-party organization. It's usually a state-based university or researcher in the state who can provide the legislature with a report every year that says, here's how the program's doing, are students making learning gains, and we also like to have other things like parent satisfaction rates, graduation rates, and those types of things to give you an idea of how these programs are working across the country. Another thing is on the savings. Chair, you mentioned the savings. I want to point out 2 reports from neighboring states. One is from the Iowa Revenue Department, the government agency. They found that program's tax credit scholarship program resulted in a $12 million savings to the state in the year that it was studied. And then a study recently from Oklahoma City University found that for every dollar that is given in a credit, they actually saves taxpayers $1.39, because the scholarship amount is almost always less than the amount of funded. So another important thing is that it doesn't require that every student gets that adequacy target. That's the max. And in all these programs across the country, most kids are getting less because these scholarship organizations are giving out funds based on need. They're saying, you're a wealthier family, you get less, you're a more low-income family, you get more. So that cap is really the cap. And there's no program in the country that's giving that exact amount to every single student. Most are getting less. So you do see savings from the families who are getting less than that. So that generates a savings in the state.